Right now, while you're watching this video, your brain is being trained to fail, not by your enemies, not by your circumstances, by the apps you open every single morning before you even get out of bed. I know that sounds extreme, but by the end of this video, you will not just believe it, you will see it in your own life. And more importantly, you will know exactly what to do about it. My name is Brian, and today we are going inside one of the most important books written in the 21st century, Cal Newport's Deep Work. This book does not just teach you how to be productive. It teaches you how to reclaim the one thing social media has quietly stolen from you, your ability to think. The world has changed, and not in your favor. Let me paint a picture you will recognize. You wake up, you check your phone, you scroll for 5 minutes, except it is never 5 minutes. You put the phone down, you try to focus, but something feels off. Your mind jumps. An idea comes, then another. Then you remember a tweet. Then you wonder who liked your post. Then you are back on the phone. Sound familiar? That is not laziness. That is not weakness. That is architecture. The architecture of every social media platform ever built, designed specifically to fragment your attention and keep it fragmented. Cal Newport opens Deep Work with a simple but devastating observation. We live in an age of distraction masquerading as connection. We are more connected than any generation in history, and yet we are producing less meaningful, less creative, less important work than we are capable of. The culprit is not your intelligence. The culprit is the environment we have all accepted as normal. And normal is costing you everything. Here is what the science tells us, and what Newport confirms through years of research. Every time you get a notification, your brain releases a small hit of dopamine. It feels good. It feels like something important just happened. And your brain learns fast. It learns that interruption equals reward. So it starts craving interruption. It starts resisting long stretches of silence. It starts pulling you away from hard, focused work and toward the quick, shallow, instantly gratifying scroll. Newport calls the opposite of this, the thing we are losing, deep work. He defines it precisely. Professional activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that push your cognitive capabilities to their limit. Read that again. Distraction-free, cognitive limit, pushed. That is not how most of us work today. Most of us work in what Newport calls shallow work, reactive, logistical, low-concentration tasks that feel busy but produce very little of real value. We answer emails while listening to a meeting. We write reports while checking Instagram. We plan our futures while watching someone else's highlight reel. And the tragic irony? The more we do shallow work, the worse we get at deep work. Here's the neurological truth Newport reveals. The ability to focus deeply is not a fixed trait. It is a skill. And like any skill, if you stop using it, you lose it. Every hour you spend fragmenting your attention across 5 apps is an hour you are actively training your brain to be incapable of sustained focus. Social media is not just stealing your time, it is dismantling your most powerful cognitive tool. Now, before this feels overwhelming, let me tell you something Newport makes clear from the very beginning. Deep work is not about doing more. It is about doing less, far better. Think about the people you admire most, the writers who produce landmark books, the scientists who make breakthrough discoveries, the entrepreneurs who build companies that actually change things. Newport studied them, and he found a pattern so consistent it became the foundation of his entire thesis. Every high-performing, high-impact individual on the planet protects their deep work time like it is sacred. Carl Jung built a stone tower in the Swiss countryside to write in isolation. Bill Gates took annual Think Weeks where he would disappear for days to read, think, and plan. Maya Angelou rented a hotel room just to write. No personal items, no distractions, just her and the page. These people did not have more hours than you. They had a different relationship with those hours. And that relationship has a name, the deep work hypothesis. Newport states it boldly. The ability to perform deep work is becoming increasingly rare at exactly the same time it is becoming increasingly valuable in our economy. Let that land. Rare and valuable. That is the definition of leverage. If everyone around you is distracted, and you choose not to be, you do not just work better. You become exceptional by comparison. You create work that others simply cannot match because their brains are too scattered to go where yours can go. Deep work is not a productivity hack. It is a competitive superpower. Newport gives us 4 rules to build a deep work life. Let me break them down in a way that is real, practical, and starts today. Rule 1. Work deeply. This sounds obvious, but Newport means something specific. You do not stumble into deep work. You schedule it, you protect it, you treat it like the most important appointment on your calendar. Because it is. He suggests different philosophies depending on your life. Some people can go monastic, removing all distractions for weeks at a time, like an author on a deadline. Others use the rhythmic approach, committing to a fixed daily block of deep work, same time, every day, non-negotiable. The point is not which method. The point is intentionality. Deep work does not happen by accident. It only happens by design. Rule 2. Embrace boredom. This is where it gets uncomfortable. Newport argues that the greatest mistake most people make is trying to switch between distraction and focus. Scrolling Instagram for 20 minutes, then expecting to write something brilliant for 20 minutes. Your brain does not work that way. If you train yourself to reach for your phone the moment you feel bored, you destroy your capacity for sustained thought. Boredom is not a problem to fix. It is the precondition for breakthrough. The next time you are waiting for a coffee, or standing in a line, or sitting in silence, resist the pull. Let your mind wander. Let it work. That restless, uncomfortable space is where your best ideas live. Rule 3. Quit social media. Newport is not gentle here. He challenges the assumption that social media is automatically worth your time just because it provides some value. He asks a harder question. Is it the best use of that time, given everything else you could be doing? He introduces what he calls the craftsman approach. Only use a tool if its benefits substantially outweigh its negatives. By that standard, most social media platforms fail. The distraction cost is high. The genuine professional value is low. You do not have to delete every account, but you do have to be honest. Is your relationship with social media intentional, or is it compulsive? Rule 4. Drain the shallows. Schedule every minute of your workday, not to become a robot, but to become intentional. Identify which tasks are truly shallow. They demand little cognitive effort and can be batched, delegated, or eliminated. Then ruthlessly protect your deepest hours for work that actually moves the needle. Newport found that most knowledge workers spend the majority of their day on shallow work without even realizing it. Naming the shallows is the first step to escaping them. Here is what nobody tells you about deep work. It does not just make you more productive. It makes you different. When you spend hours in true focused concentration, pushing your mind to its limit, solving hard problems, creating real things, something shifts. You start to feel what Newport calls the deep satisfaction of craftsman-level work. There is a sense of meaning that comes from working deeply that shallow work never provides. No amount of likes or shares gives you the feeling of finishing something difficult, something true, something that took everything you had. Newport points to research by psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi on the concept of flow, that state where you are fully absorbed, performing at your peak, and time disappears. Flow is not an accident. It is the natural byproduct of deep, focused work. And here's the thing about flow. It does not happen on social media. It happens at a desk, or a notebook, or a canvas, when the notifications are off and the doors closed, and you choose to go somewhere most people are too distracted to reach. That place is where your best work lives. That place is where your best life is built, and it is available to you. Not tomorrow, not when things slow down. Right now. You have been living in a world designed to keep you distracted. And until today, maybe you did not fully see how much that was costing you. But now you do, and knowing is not enough. Action is the only answer. So here is your first step. Not next week, not when things calm down. Today, pick 1 hour. Just one. Put your phone in another room. Close every tab that is not essential, and work on the one thing that matters most to you, with full, undivided attention, for 60 minutes. No checking, no scrolling, no multitasking. Just you, your work, and your undistracted mind. That is your first deep work session. That is the beginning of a completely different relationship with your own potential. Because the world rewards people who can think clearly, create deeply, and produce work that truly matters. You have the capacity for all of it. You just have to protect it. Read Deep Work by Newport. Apply the rules. Defend your focus like your future depends on it. Because it does. This is Bookism. I believe the right idea, at the right moment, can change everything. Now go do the work.